Klix Webstore configuration. With Klix, it will only take you several minutes to set up your web store. This instructional video will show you how to set up and operate your web store. You may have many products to offer your customers and only sell a few in your web store. For example, let's suppose that you sell cell phones, and in your catalog of items you offer 100 products and 5 services, of which you only want to sell in your web store 30 products and 2 services. This can easily be done using your Klix web store. You should first set up the various departments or categories within your web store. Using the previously mentioned example of cell phones, you can have a category of cell phones with cameras or MP3 players, or you can even categorize your phones by brand. You can also add subcategories to your items, for example, chargers, cell phone cases, or hands-free devices, and so on. To categorize your items, simply enter the company module, then all list, followed by category of items. From here, you can organize the various departments and categories within your web store. When you are ready to add an item so it will appear in your web store, you can do so by entering the vendor module. Then click on Item List and select the item you want to sell in your web store. Now click on the Edit Item tab, then click on the Web Store Item Setup button. Your first step, if you want the item to appear in your web store, will be to click the checkbox. Now, you will have to assign the item a category or department. If you cannot find an appropriate, you can create from this space. If a discount will be applied to this item in specific, you will indicate the amount of the discount in this space. In this next space, you will enter a brief description of the item, which will appear adjacent to the photo of the item on your web store's primary page. Next, you will enter a detailed description of the item where you can include information such as specifications. And you can also use bridges and colors to highlight various product characteristics that you may consider important for your customer to know. You can also add links to other pages that will give your customer added information on the product. In the following spaces, you will upload the photos of your products. Remember, so your website will have visual integrity and appear professionally designed, you should upload your photos using a white background in the photo. This is only a suggestion, not a requirement. The first photo will appear in your web store's primary page, as well as the product details page as the primary photo. The following photos will only appear on the product's detail page below the primary photo. Remember, unlike in a normal storefront, your customer can't touch or see the product from different angles. So you should include sufficient photos to give your customer enough confidence in both your web store and the product to make the purchase. Remember, a photograph is worth 1,000 words. If during the configuration of your web store, you chose to charge for shipping based on the item, then you will need to enter the information in this space. If you chose to base the charge on the total dollar value of the order, the space will not appear on this screen. It is important for you to know that if you opt to charge for the shipping based on the order and later change to basing the fee on the item during the configuration of your web store, you must be sure that you provide all the requested information for each item visible in your web store. If the information is not provided as requested, then the shipping will be free. Klix has 2 powerful systems that you can use to increase your sales. The first is known as related items. The way it works is, when a customer selects a product, you will be able to offer them other related items. For example, let's suppose your customer selects a cell phone. You will have the ability to offer them the compatible accessories, thus allowing you to sell the phone and the accessories at the same time, thus increasing your sales total. The next is a system of upsell, where you will offer your customers products that are the same as the one they selected, although in a higher price range. For example, let's suppose that your customer selects a Motorola phone with no camera that retails for $100. Your Klix web store includes a section called Best Selling. Here, the system will display and suggest to your customer similar phones, although they will be in a higher price range. Klix will do this without you having to do any additional setting up of the items. This is just another way that Klix can help you increase your sales. You now can select the items that will be displayed as the related items in your web store. I must remind you that all items must be visible in your web store so that they will be listed on your list of related items. Now let's set up your web store. In this section, you will find a link. If you click on this link, it will take you to your web store, which presently has no content. Klix allows you 4 different ways for you to manage your web store. The first is, if you already have an existing web page, you can simply copy the button from Klix and paste it to your existing web page, and it will automatically take your customers to your Klix web store. The second is when you don't have an existing web page and will use the Klix web store as your primary web page. In this case, you can use your existing domain, or you can purchase one on the internet, where you will find many companies offering this service. Once you have obtained a domain in the administrator of your domain provider, you will be able to redirect your domain address. So when a user enters your domain in an internet navigator, it will take them directly to your Klix web store. The third option would be to create your own button using a link provided by Klix to take you to your web store. This can easily be done by your web designer. The fourth option would be to have your web page designer integrate your web store to your site while using frames. Now let's start by uploading your company logo that will appear in the upper left portion of your web store. The image should be a JPEG file, and it must measure 170 by 160 pixels. Your next step will be to select the 4 primary products that will be displayed in the top portion of your web store's page. These 4 items should be the items you most want to sell, or possibly some sort of novelty item. These items will always appear on your web store's primary page in a rotating manner, and will do so until you manually change them from this page. Your next step will be to select the 9 additional items that you want to present to your customers. These items will appear in a fixed manner on your web store's primary page unless you manually change them. Upon continuing, you can select as many items as you desire that will appear in smaller photos below the previously mentioned 9 items. The items will appear in a random order each time a user enters your web store. Now, select the price level at which you will sell your items in your web store. Klix will allow you to sell your items at a different price than the ones you established when you entered the item into the system. To learn more on how to configure your price level, simply go to All List, then click on Price Level and view the instructional video found there. Now enter the customer service number that you will use in your web store. The stock status warning is very important. Klix will help you keep track of your inventory by notifying your customers when an item that they have selected is out of stock. Although Klix gives you the option to still allow your customer to place the order, even though your stock is depleted of the item. If you don't use this option when the item is out of stock, the Add to Cart button will disappear from the screen, and your customer will not be able to purchase the item. If you decide to use this option, the Add to Cart button will still appear, and your customer can make the purchase even though the item is out of stock. With Klix, there are 2 ways you can charge your customers for shipping. The first would be to charge for shipping based on a percentage of the total sales order, or you can charge a fixed rate for shipping regardless of the number of items or the dollar amount of the order. The second would be to charge for shipping based on the individual item, where you can apply the charges for shipping 4 different ways: free shipping, or based on the weight of the item, multiplied by a price per pound or kilo, or a different fixed price for each item. A combination of the 3, where the charge is defined independently for each item. It's important for me to remind you that if you choose to charge for shipping based on the order and later decide to base the charge on the items, you must be sure that from the setup section of shipping for your web store, you have provided all the requested information for each item that is visible in your web store. Otherwise, the shipping will be free. Since there are several different ways to charge a customer for shipping, Klix offers you the ability so that based on the total amount of shipping, you can add additional charges, such as a percentage of the shipping fee for international, express, or next day shipping, or for special wrapping or packaging. You can choose and name the shipping as you see fit. If the shipping description is left blank, then this space will not appear in the shipping options for your customer. In this space, you can display some sort of message for your customers, such as a greeting or a notice of an upcoming special promotion. This greeting will appear on all your web store pages. In this next space, you can enter a message that will appear to your customers when they log on to their account. And your final step will be to select one of the 12 templates designed by Klix that were inspired by some of the internet's best web stores, such as Amazon, Best Buy, and Office Depot. There you go. Your web store is now ready to start making you money. Remember, to attract your customers to your web store, you should advertise using the customary forms of advertising, such as TV, radio, or print ads.